else do we have here? I was thinking the other day about elections coming up. And, really appreciating our founding fathers, who really created a system of government where it's almost impossible to change anything. All right? You got all these people that got to agree. So they understood that basically most people don't want you to change anything. They just want to go about their lives, and shop. And sometimes take the things they went shopping with and give themselves a fantasy of having, an experience mountain climbing on the rock wall in the store, or have an experience of wilderness by whitewater rafting, or something like that. Mostly people just want to be happy with their families, eat the food, and not be bothered by anything changing, because change makes them have to change, and who wants to be bothered with that? I want to just keep going the way I am. So the founding fathers made a government where it's very hard. So the only people really who get into government, they're the people who are really earnest and want to help everybody and change things for the better. Then there are the people who are crooks, and then the people who are lunatics. I mean, you got a bunch of everything. What happens is very soon the people who are earnest and want to change everything for the better, whatever that is, they get out of politics, because what happens is they change something, the folks is up in arms, they don't want it different, they throw them out of office. So what you're left with are the lunatics and the crooks. Now the lunatics, if they're a little bit crooked, they can last longer, but eventually even they kind of fall by the wayside, which pretty much leaves government in the hands of your crooks. So the crooks understand that they really can talk about all these things that would be better. They don't actually make any change happen. Mostly what they're in government for is to talk big and to take money under the table to get themselves rich. So they're shaking hands and they're making deals, and on the surface, nothing has changed that you actually have to think about in your lives or be any different. You're wonderful. I'm getting rich, see? So that's politics in America, and some of us have gotten the furs and the jewels and the cars, and some of yous get to vote every 4 years. Now, in the politics today, a lot of things are going on about, arguing about this person or that, and they're saying that the people are fighting unfair, but the people are fighting pretty much by the same rules they always have. That's the American way. Like, you have a freedom of religion in America. And that's true. So nobody's really bringing into the political argument about, Mitt Romney's religion, even though it's sort of, a fringe religion. No one says anything about it because it's his real religion and he has a right to that. Now, you might argue, well, they talk about Obama being Muslim, but of course they talk about Obama being Muslim because he's not. So it's okay, of course, to say, have all these stories about how terrible it is that Obama's Muslim, because Obama isn't Muslim. If he was Muslim, you couldn't talk about it. But since he's not Muslim, of course, you can make a big stink about it. And so all the lunatics are having a lot of fun because they can just go to town with it, and of course, it's fair game. If you wanted to make fun of Mitt Romney, you couldn't go after him for being a Mormon. You'd have to go after him for being a Jew. Now, that would be something you could criticize him for. You could talk about his secret Jewish roots and his secret Jewish societies and, how you have evidence that when he was, whatever. And that would be something that would be perfectly legitimate in the public debate. That goes right next to Mr. Obama, President Obama's Muslim orientation. There you have it. You can't talk about the actual thing anymore, then you can talk about, somebody's actual personal flaws, or you can actually talk, you just don't. It's not polite. So basically, if you want to criticize a politician and have other people join in, you have to actually make up something that's not true, and then they can all join the bandwagon because, there's no harm done. See how it works? Once you understand that politics is very simple.